And here we are again with Mr. Gabe Levi. We just recorded 5 minutes and the recorder wasn't going.
Oh,
But yeah, so Gabe's my barber, and I think I've became like pretty good friends with him. We've had very good conversations
definitely.
and a lot of similar interests. And yeah, we were talking about how Gabe was getting into became a barber.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, go through that story real quick again.
Yeah, so I kind of had this need and want to always look good and feel good about myself, especially when I was younger. I just I love clothes. I love just like honestly just making sure I'm groomed at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom wouldn't take me to the shop.
Your brother wasn't.
My brother, I have an older brother who's just complete opposite of me in a lot of good ways, because I'm a very consumption type of person. He's the opposite. And I think that my mom just felt like it wasn't needed because my older brother never really thought about it. It was like, when I'm looking like the Sasquatch, I cut my hair. With me, it was like, if something looks out of place, I need to get it done. So I just asked her to buy me a set of clippers so I can take care of it myself, and I just kind of taught myself how to cut my own hair. Luckily, we have a set of mirrors in our bathroom. Yeah, that was kind of like a 3-sided, like you can pull it out so I could see every angle. So
at your house?
At my mom's house.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like something that gave me the advantage of they sell things like that now. For self-cutting.
Really?
Yeah, where it's like there's a whole product line of
That's crazy.
these 3-sided mirrors that people can use to cut their own hair because you can catch every angle. So it's like we had that in our house built into the bathroom. So it's like I think I had the advantage there because when I first saw that product, I was like, well, I have that at home. That's crazy. Because people are learning.
You're like,
skill.
I already knew.
Yeah. So, just being able to have that and, practicing on my others, cousins and my brother and, a couple other people, my friends. Once I got into senior year, I started cutting some of my friends yo, I need a haircut. Oh. And it was terrible. Awesome. Most of them were terrible, but it was good enough to get you by. You know what I'm saying? So,
what made you want to go to barber school and actually make it I guess a quote unquote career versus just cutting your own hair and your buddy's hairs for a couple bucks?
I think that I honestly did not have a solid plan after because I wanted.
Did you not know what you wanted to do?
I didn't have a very precise idea. I knew I wanted to be in some sort of creative field.
Sure. Would you say you're a creative person?
Yeah, I would say I'm generally a very creative person. I'm trying to get myself out of the space of being just an idea person, because I kind of have walked into a lot of rooms where I'm an idea person. And with barbering, I took a very long break. I had been doing it for about 4 years after I had started school after high school, and it's a 1.5-year program, and then so 6 months into school, I was already working in a shop. While I was going to school.
In high school?
No, barber school.
Okay, barber school.
Yeah, so it's I was already I felt like I was at a fast pace.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of got bored of it. I kind of stopped liking the environment of the shop.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like I was young and I didn't want to be somewhere every day where it was controlling my schedule.
Sure. Because you said barber school, a lot of people were older than you, right?
Older, yeah. They were some going into their 30s, some going into their 40s. You know, it's so. I was just always the youngest person in every room that I walked into, which is I think I saw it as more of a curse than a blessing at the time, but now I'm seeing it as
likewise, man. Yeah. Cause when I started bartending when I was 21, and I started kind of bar backing before that, and usually bartenders out here, especially mid 30s, 30s, late 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
And did you ever get that belittling feeling?
Yeah, that, and I think that I also felt the pressure of it being a career in a sense. Am I gonna be here until I'm 30 or until and
because you're more than that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt. I felt especially with the people that I really surrounded myself with, they were kind of elevating on more of an independent level.
Sure.
Which barbering has that aspect, but it's also you really got to take off.
You're kind of doing that right now with your shop.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm really trying to do now, because I'm also trying to adjust to being in the digital space and the digital marketing and all these things that I never really,
because your whole following and your whole clientele has been super organic.
Yeah,
right?
Organic, word of mouth. It's always the next person's gonna tell them, and somebody saw my haircut and they asked who did it, and I gave them your number. It was never I'm promoting myself on Instagram. I'm not promoting myself on Facebook. It's just like someone tells them, they tell them to
and
call
that's
me.
super rare, like right now. Like, especially these days in Los Angeles.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everybody wants you to have some sort of like notoriety and, some sort of reputation. And I think that what I've been blessed with is a really good set of clients that, really trust me enough to like give
and
my.
most of them are regulars.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I have a pack of like at least, 25 to 30 clients that are always on the same schedule. And it's never like anything that I'm like super blessed by that because I get to like not really worry about what's going to happen the next week. Of course there's always those things as like an entrepreneur and like you have like, oh my God, I'm not going to make enough money this week or next week. But I think I've always never had a lack of confidence in the people that I work with because they just like, they trust me and they also have like a very like consistent need for my services.
Yeah, everyone's hair grows.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the best thing about barbering is like it's just like it's so consistent.
Do you get a lot of satisfaction from it?
I do. I think like I have like I think why I had I don't know if I mentioned but I did take a break. I took a break probably for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think it was because I felt like I doubted myself because I was doing the whole comparison thing with social media. You're dealing with like I'm seeing like people I went to school with in barber school.
Okay.
And they're doing great. They're like, and it's like, oh well, I'm not doing the whole digital marketing thing. I'm not it's like because I wanted to make time for myself to not be just only be a barber. You know? And so I stepped away from it. I said, okay, well let me not be a barber for a little bit and see like how I do. And it was good. I really wanted to step into like the fashion industry and this, so I worked at a magazine and I did a few like odd jobs and like styling and this and that. Wherever I could find work within that realm, I kind of did it. And it was a struggle because it's like also like nobody knew who I was in that realm, you know. So I think that like what this has taught me, as I get kind of more ingrained and let it be kind of part of my identity, is that you have to really establish yourself where you're at. And then I think all those little bits and pieces that you kind of want on your own personal self, like I could be doing things on a set, but I'm cutting hair, but you never know who's going to notice like, my personal style or the way that I have a conversation with the client about their personal style, reflective of like my interests, because that could make me or could give me the opportunity to have another job in the area that I want to, so it's like, I'm coming to that realization, like in the past couple of years, I'm just like, I need to take this seriously because people are going to see how much energy I put into it, how much like I actually believe in myself enough to know that, this is going to take me where I want to go. Cause I think that people, something that I personally, kind of dealt with and a lot of people suffer with is they feel like they have to be spread out so thin so that they're attributed to, all these different things, which is cool, but there's always going to be that one thing that people kind of point at you for, it's like, is
that barbering for you right now?
Yeah, for me it's barbering, and I love it because it's like saved me so many times. Like when I was like living on my own, it's like,
especially with COVID, man.
COVID,
right?
It's just like business has been crazy. It's like, and it's like
a different type of level, right?
It's like
all the barbershops are closed. You have this one man who's going to go to your spot in your backyard, wherever you want to do it. You'll wear a mask if you want to. If not, tailored to your very needs and just cut your hair at your own spot.
So that's like, this year's been crazy. It's like, I've been telling people like it's a blessing and a curse because it's like this is like gave me so much time to slow down. And luckily like financially and like just overall like the way that I'm living right now is just like it was so adjustable to the situation, but I know that people are like having a hard time. So I'm super like...
are you like a little bit like scared or something in a sense? Because like you still work a retail job too. And I'm just like, yo, what's this man doing? Because like I see just like our talks when you cut my hair, I'm like, whoa, this dude got like dreams and aspiration. He's a very hard worker. And I'm like, wow, like he's still working an hourly job. But like, why is that?
I think it's kind of like a comfort thing, like not
because you're not learning anything. There, right?
Dude, and it's like I think it's just more like I don't want to misplace myself with like too much confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like not that I don't think that I can handle the shop. I think that I'm just kind of waiting till the last minute till I have to make my exit. Because at the end of the day, it's like something that it kind of alleviates some of the worry of like financially, like being an independent contractor, I don't know if it's gonna, the whole world's gonna shut off tomorrow, and then nobody wants me to come cut their hair, So I have this part time.
Kind of like that
like,
imposter syndrome.
It's just
still.
like exactly. It's like, gosh, I'm still not. I'm like 95%. Like it's like that 5% is
that 5%'s keeping you back,
just to make sure that I can, eat.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it just does the job for me, and I think that it also just makes sure that where my needs like financially go are met, are kind of shifting towards going towards the business, because I don't want to have to worry about taking out of my bank of the business funds and having to move them to my living expenses, which is what this job takes care of. It's like, okay, like I just go to work and I can handle business at work, like and take care of things that I need to take care of and pay my rent and all that stuff. So it's like, I feel like it's just the craziness of like being in LA and having to
you've always lived in LA.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I kind of like, this is like, it's as strenuous as it's kind of seems sometimes. It's like, this is just what people tend to do out here
in LA.
Yeah. It's like, you're never gonna be just one thing, or you shouldn't even have that mindset out here. It's like, okay, well, I shouldn't, unless you have the perfect, golden road to your destination. I don't think that you should ever really have like a solid plan of like how you're gonna navigate.
It's kind of crazy that you've lived out here your entire life, because like just me being out here for 4 years, I'm like, yo, everyone's a hustler out here. Everyone's making out here, just trying to pay rent. Back in my hometown, like everyone's having kids' houses and it's easier.
Yeah,
it's easier. Objectively, it's easier. And I'm like, yo, like if you can make it in LA, you can make it in California, like you can make it in a lot of other places for sure.
I feel like LA, New York,
San Francisco,
they're not really like, I wouldn't, how do I say this in like it was just more like, you can't really have like any kind of space for like being out of your mind. Sometimes you have to keep constantly like adjusting to what's gonna happen next, because the next day, it's like, depending on what people's dreams and aspirations are out here, which a lot of them are to be in entertainment, to be just an overall success, like and you're gonna interact with like the movie stars, the musicians, the artists, blah, blah. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen no matter what. It'll be someone that buys your bitters. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, and that might turn into a different relationship. So it's like, having that mindset, you kind of can't always have like a routine. And I think that that's what I've just lived off of.
Just
like,
learn how to adapt, improvise,
not having a routine all the time.
Yeah,
is kind of like a necessity out here sometimes, especially when you're trying to like kickstart things, because
because you're just going with the flow. You're saying, oh, I have to go this way, do this, do that. Oh, someone hit me up here, I have to do that.
Essentially, like most of the stories that I've heard of from people that I look up to or look at for like a sense of like how did you get to where you're at, is like, well, I just kind of like, somebody called me and I went and I did what they asked me to do, and like in a sense of like, whether it be work or social setting, or like I went to this party and I met somebody. It's like, that's how it works out here. And you don't have to really go too far for opportunity out here. It's just more like, you have to be willing to take that step. So
it's also like, a lot of people don't get their work seen out here because they don't know the right people and getting it. So last time we talked, you were talking about this book that you read once a year, twice a year. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. We both read it. And what's the biggest thing that you've taken out of that book? Because that book is so old, but yet still has like certain I guess like qualities or like truths that still relate. I just think will forever relate to,
I think
like,
the thing that it really taught me is like just to be more authentic in the way that you approach people, because it's like, it has kind of like a trick, like you're trying to trick somebody's mind. But what I took from it was more like, I should be willing to have a certain amount of like openness to wanting to interact with this person, and they should be able to receive that the same way. It shouldn't be like I'm trying to hype you up and do this and make you feel like you're the best person in the world, just because it should be like, well, authentic. I'm doing this because I have a goal, and I feel like our goals are gonna be a good, you know, mesh. And I think a lot of people take that book as like you're trying to direct it at like, you know, the CEO of the company, and it's like, no, this is the person next to you that you want to have a good relationship with, and that should be something that's kind of like long term, you know, like it gave me a very long term mindset with the relationships. Like people that I interact with, I want them to feel like when I'm giving them my words, or I'm giving them, you know, my advice, or you know, just even my praise, is that they feel like it's authentic, and that I think it more gave me
it's not necessarily feel like it is.
Like, it is. Yeah. So just like also that my mindset is like, you know, kind of train myself to be more authentic and not feel like I need something out of somebody. Just more like, you know, that book is meant to teach you a sense of like habit of how to approach people without feeling like, you know, you should lack confidence and they should lack confidence in you, you know. So I think that's the main thing that I like about it. It's just it made me think about like, you know, when I speak to somebody, how is my attitude adjusting to, you know, my wants from them or my needs from them, you know, because it just ties into so many things. It's like your personal life, your professional life.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so. It's
because like we were having really good conversations. I just don't know if it was like barber talk or anything like that. But I was like, when you told me that, I was like, that's what it is. I was like, that's the reason why the Gabe's the way he is.
Yeah, no, it's like my clients. It's like I've had so many clients that have become like really good friends just because like I feel like, you know, they appreciate the way that I like am really genuinely interested in what they're
100%.
doing. You know, it's
you
like
are.
I'm not. And the thing is, like, I don't really make myself be like that to everybody. You know, like there's some people that I just don't really click with, and like, but I'm still gonna be a very friendly person. But there are also people that like I just genuinely like, oh, that's amazing. Like, or like if I find out about their work, it's like that's crazy, and I want to continue that relationship. You know, because I feel like
you don't know where it'll lead you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know, it's like it could lead me into a good friendship. It could lead me into, you know, other good relationships, and just like me being as genuine as possible in that situation is the most important thing, you know, because you know, there are people that like I've had opportunities to cut people that, you know, are like famous, you know, like they have like their notoriety, and it's like sometimes those are like the worst people to fucking have for clients because they have there's no openness from them.
They don't really care.
They don't want to receive you that way, you know, and that's why I like the way that my business runs right now.
Sure.
But you know, it has to adjust. But
because
so like,
go ahead.
Yeah, just because I want people to know that like I like the regular person that has some crazy shit going on. You know?
Yeah, and then plus those type of people come back to you like more often. They're like, oh, I got to catch Gabe up on this. I need a cut.
And those are the people that are really gonna pass my name and number on.
Yeah,
to
legit.
People.
Like, so you're not just into barbering. Like, I think the one thing that clicked with you a lot is like we're interested in a lot of things. Yeah, I want to do a lot of things. And so you're about to get into fashion, right?
Yeah. Just made some samples, you know, getting out there. I've been in the industry for a minute, like in and out. And it's something that I've like always been super, super passionate about. I just had no idea. I still to this day have like a 25-30% way of like knowledge of like really navigating it, because it's just very LA, you know. And
what
like,
do you mean?
Like very new LA, I guess I could say. Like it's not like a very natural feeling for me to be like, you know, like a cool kid or like this and that. It's just like I dress the way I dress because that's the things that makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like not like I don't go and try to like impress people.
You try to impress yourself.
Yeah, I really like getting dressed, and that's it. You know, so
that's super cool because like for me, my wardrobe is usually just like solids. Like I'm very minimalistic, and then like when you dress and then you come over and I see like a lot of people who dress like loud, whatever you want to call it. I'm just like, yo, I have an appreciation for style, but like for me, it's just like I don't want to think about it. Like I look at my closet for a long time. I just pick my solids and we're good. But is it just like, would you compare it to like barbering at all, like hairstyling? Like,
I think it's
is it an expression of yourself? Like, how would you describe styling?
I think
like,
for me, just because I do tend to be a little bit more like colorful on my side. Like I think I do it. The way I dress is like me wanting to kind of like let people know I am like pretty open when you speak to me, and like it might be like a weird like, you know, I'm kind of like I just want people to like fuck with me, you know, like. But I think that I always feel comfortable with what I'm wearing because I like to give a little pop and like people like I think that it's like a talking point for me. I create like a talking point. Like people always come up to me and say like, you know, I like this, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
Oh, wow.
Know? So it's like, okay, well, I appreciate that. Like I appreciate that. It's like, but I feel good like for myself, you know, all the time. Like I just like being, cause I keep it pretty simple. I still wear a t-shirt, pants, and shoes. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I just make my selections based off of like whether it be like someone that I fuck with, like the brand that I fuck with, or I really like the style, or you know, this is what I want to be like always have in my closet, you know. So it's like I'm a very like I have a lot of staples that I wear. Like I'm a very white t-shirt, black pants person. I just think that like when I have a good day, it's just like it's a good day. You know, like I feel like I put on the right thing. But with like the whole like just having a brand with clothing, it's more like technical and that's.
Do you have a name for it yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be called Ren Gun.
Ren Gun.
Yeah, my partner is Japanese.
Okay.
Like native.
Okay. Ren Gun.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
RENGUN.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
How did you come up with that, and what does it mean?
Well, his name is Rocky. My name is Gabe.
Okay.
So we did the RG thing. You know, try to keep it.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Very simple. Yeah. And then Ren means like love or peace. So it's kind of like a peace gun. Like that's what we're trying to establish. Like we want like a love gun, peace gun type of thing. You know?
Okay.
So that's what like what we had a bunch of different names, but it just felt like it was like trying too hard to be like cool and this and that. It's like, you know, we just try to keep it simple. So, you know, we're really trying to move our way to the East Coast and get kind of that market and, you know, where they kind of appreciate the technical aspect of it rather than like the trend of it. Because I feel like out here, especially when you're from where you're starting, they're not going to show you love. You know what I'm saying? They're not. It's just
Isn't that weird that like you're, I don't know, at least for me, like my closest friends or the people closest to me, like they're the last people to show love.
Yeah, I think it's like
it's like I already know you type of deal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I kind of want to see if you could actually make it. Then
you
got it, bro.
I know him now. I know.
Yeah.
Him. Yeah, we went to high school together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those things.
Why do you think that is? Because like
you know,
I didn't really objectively like notice that until you just said it right now.
Yeah, I really have no clue, man. I feel like they almost expect you to reach out to them as a support system. And I think the opportunity to say no is kind of like a power move sometimes for people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you're not doing shit with yourself and your homie's doing something, then he's like, yo, you want to come check this out?
Yeah.
Oh, no, man, I'm busy. You know, or, oh, yeah, let me pull up. You know, I think it has to do with their personal drive, too. You know, like if they're personally driven to, you know, step into a cool space or, you know, whatever their interests are. Like, like if a friend of yours really likes drinking, like I feel like he'd be enthusiastic to really help you.
100%.
But I feel like if like,
what drives you?
Me is
because you're a very driven person.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to find some sort of stability with all the things that I'm doing. Like I want to be able to navigate all this stuff and do all this stuff with ease. So I kind of put myself through the hard right now. Like just put myself through the gritty shit right now. Like I really always have that mentality. Like, man, I just got to do this because in 5-10 years when, you know, I'm probably going to have kids or, you know, this and that, it's like, I want to be able to have this be like second nature to me. I want this to be like something that I don't really think too much about. I kind of just, it's something that brings me peace rather than like sometimes like the hard shit that it brings me right now. Yeah, you know, so it's like, and you find like a certain type of like love and infatuation with that. You want to like always be around all that, you know, the scramble of the world.
That's cool that you're setting like you said 5 to 10 years because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna be this in 1 year. Yeah, I'm gonna be this in 6 months. Yeah. And like, yo, like a lot of business stuff, a lot of like just like goals like take time. Yeah,
I think they take time, especially like that picture that you have in your head. That's never the 6-month picture. Like,
what's the picture you see in your head?
Like in 6 months?
No.
Oh, just picture I see in my head is literally just I can sit down and like
enjoy life.
Like like I guess like I don't even know. It's like kind of like that sitting on a beach kind of feeling when you're staring at the ocean. That's always, but I like. And I guess everything's taken care of. I never really have an image of like precise things, especially with like like barbering. Like, of course, I imagine my shop, busy, but I also always have like these alternate kind of thoughts where it's like it's gonna be very like small and like personal, and something that I have this very set clientele that pays me the right price because they have this environment that is good for them. Or with the clothes, it's like I only have boutiques and small orders coming in, but it's sustainable because we're using the right things and we're talking to the right people, and our fabrics are like sustainable. And
also like your true clientele and everything like that, because like you could charge a lot for like the right people.
Yeah.
And do you know who Kevin Kelly is?
No.
So Kevin Kelly wrote this article called 1,000 True Fans.
Mm-hmm.
And 1,000 people is not a lot.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Yeah.
Like
in the grand scheme
of things, like people have hundreds of thousands of followers out here. But if you have 1,000 true fans who buy all your stuff all the time, who are a true client of yours, you are kind of set.
You're good, yeah.
You are set.
Yeah.
And like for me, that's what I'm trying to build. And for you, for barbering, like I've seen it. Like it's very, very good. And like I feel like you just transferred that over to like your clothing brand and everything like that.
And the thing is, I have a good, solid, initial path and network to just get it off its ass.
Yeah.
I think it's just satisfying myself on the end of like, is this gonna be perfect, And that comes with everything.
I feel like everything could get better though, right?
Yeah, for sure,
like
for sure. Yeah, it's just tough right now with the whole clothing thing. It's like even this year, it's like there's so many new brands and there's so many really shitty production side problems right now, just with 100%. How they're treating the workers and all these little things that you kind of have to find a way to be in that perfect little spot so that you're satisfying both ends of like am I making sure that these people that are making my clothes are being taken care of, am I working with the right factory that's going to take care of me, and then it's like my customer going to receive this right because I have people that I want to please with this. I think that you got to put it in these pockets of like 5 to 10 years and kind of write those things down and kind of have them always be revolving in your head.
And starting a business is hard, man. Like a lot of people, like a lot of businesses statistically don't make it through the first year.
Yeah, I think I was reading something. It's like you gotta have like something like 9 to 10 before you actually have one good one. You know what I'm saying? So like that's like the general rule. Like the idea you should have in your head, like you're gonna fail. And I think that the moment that you don't fail is when you put a lot of energy into really educating yourself on what you need to do, like really or taking the lessons that you learned through your failures, and really, implementing them into how you will like achieve success with your new stuff. And
100%,
I've been there, a few times like where I failed trying to do things, and it's like something that you kind of let yourself, have your full day of moping, like where you're just like, shit, that was.
What are some of your biggest failures?
I wouldn't call them definite failures. I would call them like I misinterpret them as that, like where I didn't take the opportunity to like just immediately redeem myself, or just put myself in a mental space where I had to like just keep going and doing it. But I had a series of like art shows I did when I started, when I got out of high school. Like this is like while I'm going to barber school. So
like art, like painting or
what?
Like
painting and
okay.
Clothes, and I had like live performances. So I put on these like 2 pretty big shows, like 300 people each, and it's like, but I'm using my own money. So like I'm like in like I'm 18, 19, like, putting my ass on the line, like thinking like this is going to make me, somebody, it's going to put me in a position to be this guy. And they just didn't go as planned. Like the first one got like, it was like cracking, about to get crazy. Like there were so many people there. It was like I had invested all this money into it. I got all these really cool brands and people to come, and I made cupcakes with the brand name on, like that type of stuff. You put your
in high school.
Yeah, it was like right after high school. Like I was like 18. I was like 19, 20.
That's crazy.
So it's like it got shut down like halfway through before everything, like really everybody was still flooding in type of thing. So it's just kind of like, it's like a defeating moment, especially when you're young. You just kind of take it as like, this is the end of the world. Like, this is gonna, like, I'm never gonna be able to do this again. You know, like, it was like one of those things. Like, it was a very like personal moment for me, for like feeling like I wasn't gonna be able to do the things that I wanted to do.
What was the biggest thing you learned from that experience?
That I could have done another one next week and it would have been just as good. Like, that type of, like, I could have just kept going and kept doing the same thing and being like, you know, this is where I want to be. If I would have just, because people kept, like, months after, people were still asking me about it. You know, it's like,
is that like, you feel that it's the same reason why you stopped like barbering for 2 years?
Yeah, I think I like definitely had a very like personal like self-defeating attitude when I was younger. Like, oh man, like, I'm not making this much money, or I'm not as good as this guy, or this guy's like, or he's not as good as
like
me.
Comparing to
Very comparing. I think it's like definitely a big thing that when I was younger I let get the best of me.
I feel like a lot of people do that, and it's super detrimental, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. It slows you down to the most, because like with my mindset right now, it's like, if I would have had this, like, you know, like couple, you know, years ago, it would have been like moving the same way. I still feel like I'm that age sometimes, like in like a sense of like the energy I have, and like, you know, just the ambition that I hold. And I think that if I would have had the kind of attitude I have now, where it's like I'm just kind of in my own space, like mentally and like emotionally, it's like I don't think it would have even phased me. I think it would have been just, all right, well, what are we doing next?
Yeah.
You know,
do you think the people who you surround yourself with affect that ambition, that mentality of that?
Sometimes, yeah. That's like a big thing too. It's like, I've definitely been surrounded lately by people that literally won't take no as an answer from me. Like, and I kind of try to do the same for them, where it's like, you know, don't tell yourself that you're not that guy. Otherwise, don't even have the idea.
Sure.
Like, you know, people put these ideas in their heads and then they beat themselves up about not being able to do them. It's like, that's not really anybody else's fault but yours, because there's not really you're not gonna be the person that you're looking at in comparison. You're like,
what do you mean?
Like these days, like, I think when I was younger, I kind of like saw people, you know, moving a certain way, and I just wanted to be right where they were. And then now it's more like, I kind of see where you're at, and I just want to kind of be in the same fucking mental space you're at. Like, where are you at? Where are you getting that drive from? That's awesome. Like, that's to have, like, waking up every day and getting up and getting it, and not really like counting the failures and counting like the small things that happen. And, you know, because like, there's gonna be some days where shit's just not going right, but there's also those days where it's like that you had all those small, you know, hindrances that kind of built up for this one big moment. And it's like, you being able to, you know, go through that process and feeling like, okay, it happened, but it's not stopping me from my big goal. It's like, that's like the main thing that I've learned with, especially like my friends that I have right now, and like my girl. It's like, shit's gonna happen. There's no way you can avoid it.
Yeah, just how you respond or react to those situations, those people, like, those experiences.
Yeah, and I've definitely built up this like kind of like nonchalant feeling about things that go bad, because it's just like, like, fuck it, like,
right.
You know, like,
on to the next one,
like,
right?
I'm still alive, I'm still healthy, I still have all the things.
Count your blessings.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those moments that you gotta have. So yeah, just wanted, like, when I was younger, it was just very like, for me personally, like, having to, you know, process all that shit and like not feel like it was like the end of the world, because, you know, you always have these things where people want you to figure out what you're gonna do right out of high school, or right out of, you know, and this is like a local talking, so it's like I have all this pressure around me, like saying like, and seeing like people like, not that I feel like are not really as, and this is not a diss, it's just like they're not as talented, or, you know,
just objectively.
Objectively, or they just don't have like the same, you know, energy that I would expect for me personally to like to get to the point where they're at. Like, so I'm just, I think that, you know, now that I'm older, I kind of don't carry that with me. I'm kind of more like, there's a reason they're there, and there's a reason that I'm here. And
what's the difference, and how do I get there? Or
just like, and is that really where I would want to be? Like, do I really want to be there where I see them at? You know, of course I want to do all the fun shit they're doing. Like, who wouldn't? Why would I not want to go to here and there and this? But I don't want to be that person. I don't want, you know, their situation or their problems. It's like, I would rather deal with my shit and, you know,
it's your way.
Yeah, my way. And, you know, everything respond to it well, you know. But I think that takes like a certain amount of discipline, you know. Like over the past probably 2 or 3 years, I've like developed this like so much discipline, man. It's like crazy when you see like how much good shit happens to you when you just like just are disciplined for yourself, like, or
for sure,
you know. And then you also see like when you slip up in that time where you're like learning, is like, damn, like I was telling you, remember I was telling you like I'd been working out and I lost like hella weight. Just like,
yeah. Do you know who Jocko Willink is? Mm-mm. So this Marine or this Navy SEAL, sorry, and he wrote this book called I forgot the name, but he has this saying called "discipline equals freedom." That's the name of the book. Discipline equals freedom.
Okay.
Right, and it's like, yo, if you're disciplined financially, you will have freedom financially later.
Yeah.
If you're disciplined in eating well, you'll have the freedom to like with your body to do a lot of things, right? Yeah. If you're disciplined like scholastically, like you can go certain places for school. If you're disciplined in any way of your life, you're going to have freedom in some way.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's awesome that you say that, because like even just with your fitness journey or even in like your business and stuff, you know that like if I'm disciplined in this certain art, in this certain aspect, in this certain time, I will have the freedom later to do the things I want to do.
Yeah, and I think that's like what I was saying is like that's kind of like the image I have of the end goal is like, for me to get to this kind of like I'm staring off in the sunset type of thing, and that could be just one day out of my 43-year-old life. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what I always think about, man. Is like I'm literally staring off into the coast. Like, who knows where I'm at? You know, who knows if I'm
life's
like,
good,
who knows?
My business is good.
That type of thing. It's like that feeling that you're kind of searching for, and I think that comes with like kind of like bearing down and like putting yourself in a position where you like have to face the shit that's making you lack and making you feel like, you know, why am I not there? Well, there's a reason. It's because I don't get up early and do shit that I need to do, or you know, and that's the lesson that you have to teach yourself, you know. And I think that in the past couple of years, I've definitely put that down on myself. Like, I gotta get up, I gotta do these things, and I gotta do them for a reason, because like that end goal is so general for me. Like, you know, it's not precise. So I'm like, that could be like,
and the more disciplined you are, the quicker the end goal
comes,
right?
Exactly. And that might just be that one perfect day. It might be fucking next year, but it might be because I put in enough work in 6 months to do so. So that's like what I always try to get up and kind of put myself in the headspace.
That's what gets you up in the morning.
Yeah, just like I need to make this shit happen some way, even when I don't feel like I can do it. I just do it. Yeah, it's like crazy, man. It's crazy being a fucking adult. That's
I don't know what's about adult. There's a lot of adults who aren't disciplined and don't do that. But would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
I would. Yeah. I would consider myself a young one, a very young,
because like I struggle to call myself that, because there's a lot of people who call themselves that, and they're not that.
Yeah, and I think it's like that's like the imposter syndrome sometimes. Like at your point, I think when you become that, it's like you're already doing it because your product is there. You've literally taken the steps to make it happen. You're like, I think becoming an entrepreneur is like, it's always about trial and error. But the thing is, like, if you're just saying like I want to do this and I have these ideas, and then you're like, it's like, well, you're not an entrepreneur. You just have a bunch of things that you want to do. You know, I could sit around all day and be like, I want to be an astronaut, but if I don't ever read about space, or that could be the ticker, like, yo, I just read everything I need to know about space. Yeah, I want to be an astronaut. You know, I might have to go to school now. Like, you know, it's like you have to take the action, or you know, and it's like, I mean, that's not really entrepreneurial, but it's like the idea of like action over like, you know, just kind of putting yourself in like this like space of like, oh, I'm doing it because I said it. There's a lot of people that do that, you know, where they're like, it's almost like this like psychological thing where it's like, if I said like, I did clean my room. Yeah, I did. And it's like, my room's dirty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. People, that's like a really,
that's a thing though.
That is a thing. It's like people do that all the time, man. It's like, you know,
there's like people, I'm super clean, my car's a mess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Like,
yeah, it's just like, so yeah, you have to hold yourself to definitely a higher standard
and be accountable to like who you say you are, right? Yeah, I agree with you. What do you call it? What's I gonna say? So you're into all these things right now. You're going a little bit into fashion. You're building your barbershop. You're even doing this like drink company later.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for right now? Like in your life, like what is the most exciting thing that gets you out of bed and just fires you up?
I'm really excited about this shop.
Yeah.
Just because I think now I can call myself like a business owner, and that's like scary, but it's like,
why are you scared?
I'm scared because it's crazy.
It's been a long time coming though.
Yeah. I think it's more like, okay, now there's no excuse for me to have like a lack of responsibility. I think like with like being like on a mobile barber and always having like always kind of giving myself a cushion to be like, oh, I could always get a part-time job or get a job and do this and that,
you could.
Yeah. So I think this is like, well, now I gotta pay a lease and I gotta take care of a couple of different people and I have to have employees and I gotta make sure all my paperwork is good. It's like, that's what's scary. It's like, okay, well, now there's a whole new realm of like the like kind of like leadership skills I have to put myself into, for myself, for my family, for.
I mean, that's exciting too, but yeah,
it's exciting.
That does sound scary.
It's more like it's like a exciting, scary. Like I'm not like I'm not afraid of it. I'm more like, damn, this is really fucking happening.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do in this situation? Like, and you always like look back on your track record and you look back on like, how have you been working lately to be able to fulfill this kind of like thing that you put yourself into? And it's like, so that, it's more of like that. Like I sit down and like with myself and like, damn, I'm really about to do this. Like I be, you sit in the mirror.
And it was pretty quick too.
Yeah,
it was like a couple month turnaround.
Yeah, it was like, well. See, the thing is, like, also, like, I hadn't planned on it, like, it was just, like, kind of, like, my
came
homie.
to you.
Yeah, so I was, like, but
I also, how did it come to you?
One of my homies, he, shout out, very special, Jabba, he's a studio and, like, a music label owner. He's a great guy, and he just had a space, and he just wanted, like, we've been homies for a good couple years, and he just, like, yo, I want to open a shop with you, and I'm like, fuck, like, I just like, okay, like, and like for the first like a month into like I kind of was like, damn, like should I do this, and and it's like I've been like saving my money and doing all this stuff for like preparing, but I don't know what I'm preparing for. So I was like, I have what I need to do it, but should I do it, type of thing. So like it took me like a month to be like 100%.
What got you, I'm 100% committed to doing this?
I think when I had like 15 haircuts in 3 days one day, and I was driving everywhere, and I came back and I was just like, I need a shop, bro. Like I was like, what the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying, like driving around all day and like it's
that's
like
exhausting.
It sucks. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously I have the volume and the clientele to do this.
Sure.
There just needs to be some way that I can make it, a little bit bigger. And the thing is, he has the perfect environment for me to like, move forward and be a little bit better. And so I'm just like, I have to throw myself into this pit because it's like, otherwise it's like, if I don't do it now, it's like I'm not gonna be able to do it the right way later. So I'm like.
And do you have that like regret syndrome? Like for me, like I don't know if it's a syndrome, but like I don't want to ever regret anything.
Yeah.
And like in my head, I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it because if I look 10 years down the road, I'm just like, what if I did that?
Yeah.
And that would kill me.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like you wanna say no sometimes, but then when
you want to go with the easy route,
that's the easy. It's like I can sit at home and just
I can get my part-time job. I can continue barbering all the time.
Yeah,
I can.
You make that whole story in your head. Like and it's like so. Yeah, I just kind of denied that for myself. I was like, no way. Like, there's no way I can't walk another year and like have to work for somebody or have to, even as a part-time, it's like I can't do that. It's like me personally, I just like I've been talking about this. I've been building my persona up to myself that I'm this person, so I need to like fulfill that at any moment. And then this is something that's like, I think it was also like the fear of the dedication. Like now I gotta be somewhere. I gotta
to
do
work
this.
hard.
Yeah, hey, real shit. Now I can't. Now it's not just like something that this shit has been so easy for me, man. It's like very like okay, I could just, I got an appointment. I'm gonna go do the appointment, and then like I might have a couple hours. I might have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really. But then it's like when I'm in the shop, it's like I got the shop. I gotta do the accounting. I gotta do it. It's like. So I think that's why I had like that anxiety. It's like fuck, like
yeah.
Okay.
With all the legal stuff, the accounting, the LLCs, all that. Well, all the business stuff. Did you learn all that by yourself, or do you have someone helping you?
Well, the homie's helping me. Just a little more with the language. But I've definitely been reading on it. Like,
it's so confusing.
It's very confusing. It's more like it's really one of those
different
things. Like,
language,
why
bro.
in the hell did we not learn this
in high school?
And even, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and like, why is it only accessible to like a business major in college, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Or a lawyer, or like
yeah,
whatever.
Like, why do they only get to know it? But yeah, I think it should definitely be some general information, because some people just have like an incredible talent, or they're just a naturally like charismatic,
especially like artists.
Yeah,
and like any creative.
Yeah,
but they try to transfer it to like a business realm to make a profit from it. And they're like, how the fuck do I do this?
Yeah,
and they're like 2 steps into like an LLC or some like a business bank account, and they're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do art for me.
Yeah,
now. Like,
exactly.
Screw this.
Yeah, and then like it's just the amount of just liability without having to do this. Like, if you don't do this shit, there's just so much shit that can go wrong for you with that you don't even need in your life. Like, I don't want to deal with like motherfuckers coming with me about taxes and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to make sure I'm solid on that end. So yeah, it's like that's another thing, is like, damn, all these different kind of like educations I have to get in a short period of time is kind of like crazy. So it's like one of those things where like I'm like looking at it at all, all facets. It's like, I gotta be this guy, and I gotta still kind of be myself. Like
it's hard.
Yeah,
for
so
sure,
I think that people have a good reason to not want to do things like this. Yeah, I just think it's like
it's way harder than I thought.
Yeah, it's
way harder than I thought.
You tell yourself you're gonna do it in 6 months. It's gonna take 9 to 12.
Maybe more. Than
that.
But yeah, and you just have to be patient. Yeah, and again with your funds, you're like, yo, you have to make sure you got the funds to sustain you for the long time.
Yeah,
because
you can't put yourself in a position where like it becomes like a check to check thing all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's like the worst like fucking place to be in. So it's like people, I understand it now. I understand more than ever, because I'm just like, wow,
you're actually going through it.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. That I'm finding it so tough to learn these things, or so tough to like make them happen in like the time that I thought it would take. I always hear about people like, yo, got this business started, blah, blah. I'm not even sure that they have all their paperwork.
No way. Because like there's a lot of people that I know who started businesses, but they're not legit. They don't have an LLC. They don't have like a bank account for their business. They started a website, but like they don't really know how it runs. Like yeah, you did start it, but like that will bite you in the ass down the road. Yeah. If you don't have your bases covered.
Yeah, especially if you pop, if you go crazy, if it ends up being like the best product or the best service that is out there,
and you don't have your bases covered.
Look, like, what are you gonna do now? Like,
you're not ready.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not ready.
Like, but I mean, I don't blame him. I feel like that's also like a very like internet like
day and age,
like just started type of thing. Like, because there are protections and there's like all this stuff, but it's like, I think when we're on like the ground level and we're here and like we're handing our product directly to our customer, it's like you don't want to really like be in that realm, especially if you have like that big picture kind of mentality. Like, I want to be like, I want 5 years, I want to be making sure that my company's clearing like $250,000 every year. It's like, okay, well, I gotta have my paperwork ready, because the taxes on that personally are crazy. And with my LLC, it'll push it, towards that. And like, I can do all this. There's always tricks to work the system. So it's definitely a lot of
a learning curve.
You just got and it's like one of those things where it's like you appreciate the fact that you're putting yourself in the position to educate yourself. Because a lot of times you don't feel that pressure. You just kind of go with the flow. So I think that I'm also appreciating this, because I'm like, I could give this information to somebody else.
Yeah.
I could
I appreciate business people way more now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we've went through it, and you're like,
I appreciate really charismatic business people. Like, how do you stay fucking
happy?
happy?
Happy. That's the way I feel about you, bro. Because you're always coming over like, "What's up, man? How's it going?" You got a smile on your
energetic.
face.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. Like, so I'm just like, yeah, man. I appreciate because like, it's insane sometimes. Just I'm a like real like. I'm the worst at administrative tasks. Like I hate sitting down making spreadsheets and it's like I've been having to do that the past couple of weeks.
You have
like,
to.
It's just like God damn.
Because you like creating. You're a creative person.
Yeah. So
that
like,
shit ain't creative.
Just like I'm like
it's the opposite
like,
of creative.
I've been having to like teach myself like all the tricks on like Excel and like.
All the shortcuts, because if you don't know them, bro,
dude,
you're fucked.
Excel's crazy. Excel's like it's like Adobe Illustrator. It's insane. It's like you can do so many different things, and I never knew that because like when we were in school, when I was like in school, it's like you just put the number in, and then you know like the sum, and you know like the basic simple. But I'm like I'm going through the
people take college classes on Excel on the daily, bro.
It's crazy. It's like it's insane how many things you can do
on Excel.
That. Yeah, it's wild. But I get it. It's like it's literally QuickBooks accounting. Like it's like crazy. So all these new things I'm learning, man. It's like exciting, but it's like how long am I gonna have to do this?
Yeah, when can I hire someone to do this shit for us?
That's like the main thing. Is like, damn, how long is it gonna take me to have?
But it's also good for you to learn because, like, say you hire someone down the road and you're gonna be like, oh. You got to check them.
Well, that's the most important thing, too.
You got to check them.
That's another thing what I've been telling myself is, like, if I don't learn this, because I always felt like, you know, like, you have bosses, you have people, like, team leaders, all this stuff. It's like, you get the most annoyed when they tell you to do something that they won't do themselves. Sure. And I think that's the most important thing with, like, a boss, a leader, you know, all this stuff. You have to be able to
do it yourself.
You know, for the most part, unless it's, like, a niche, like, kind of thing you're doing, like, I'm not going to tell a photographer how to shoot his pictures. I'm not going to tell, like, you know, fucking samurai swordsman how to cut something. You know, it's like, that's something that you put your hours in. But, you know, like, when it comes to, like, a general thing that you're asking somebody to do, I feel like you have to have done it yourself. Or, like, tried and failed. You know, I can't do this, so can you do it? Mm-hmm. You know, this is how I want it. But if it's, like, something like, like Excel or...
Yeah, but some people love Excel. Some people love... numbers and crunching them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, I'm gonna let you do that because you love that. Yeah, you're good at that.
That's true.
But I know somewhat enough to like be like, oh, I know what you're doing.
Yeah. I think especially with like if it's technical and it's like very, you know, you got to really put in work for that. I think that's agreeable. I just feel like if I'm not gonna, you know, fucking get in the dirt and get dirty with it, I think that you really have to be you either got to pay that person a lot of money to do it because they're good at it and they're willing to do it, or you have to have like, you know, be like, yo, I've done this before, I'm only telling you, you know, why I'm telling you this because like I've done it.
I know my shit and I just don't have the time to do it myself.
Exactly. That builds so much respect between people because they're like, okay, well, you're giving me an opportunity to do it, so I get it. But I think that people feel like they hate when people like want to, when their boss or something wants to like tell them to do something.
But back to your leadership thing with the shop and everything, you need to learn how to portray being a leader and telling people to do in a manner that they don't like disrespect you or envy you in a certain way. Yeah, right.
That's another thing that I'm thinking about. I'm a very nice person. I'm like I wouldn't say I'm very nice. I feel like I'm very I'm like hot and cold, you know? So it's like
how so?
I'm just like I'm either very nice and like a very gentle person. Like I don't really raise my voice. I physically cannot yell. Like I guarantee you, I physically cannot yell at anybody. Like
really,
my vocal cords just don't reach that level.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Sometimes it's a bad thing because I still have like those like fucking like prepubescent like whine, you know, you hear your voice cracks like so it's like I physically can't do it. I've never been able to do it. When I was younger, I couldn't do it anytime. Like so I think like, and then if I'm mad, I'm just like mad. Like I just, it's not really you know, so it's like I'm also very scared of that because I'm like,
so how do you get your emotions if you're mad? How do you like reflect it to someone, because if you're just
I'm
a nice guy all the time,
usually I'm calm. Like I'm very like straightforward. I've learned to be like straightforward.
Okay.
Like if I don't like something, I'm just gonna tell you I don't like it.
So you're gonna articulate it in that manner. You're not gonna
that's-
hold it back.
Yeah,
You're just gonna say
and I'm
it how
not gonna
it is.
tell you in a way that like. And I think about it. You know, I don't really like. I'm not super like snappy. You know, I think.
So you don't respond.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
not like. I'm more like. Let me think about this. How can I come about this? Especially if it's like, especially if it's like a big issue. It's like I need some time to think. You know, I luckily I haven't been in any positions that were like crazy volatile and like I gotta like immediately go off on somebody or go off on the situation. It's like so. I think that I'm good at that. I think it's just like this is where I'm like handling multiple different people.
Yeah,
I got to deal with all these different personalities. In the barbershop, that's why I left, because it was like such a weird environment for me. It was like one of those things where it's like, do I feel comfortable here, or do I feel like, it was like the barbershops I worked at were not like safe like at all times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I'm like, how's the shop gonna be?
Yeah. We've talked about some crazy stories with your barber friends too.
And how do I want to like, what kind of precedent do I want to set? And then also I don't want to come off like I'm a stiff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all these different things. It's all these doubts and things, but it's one of those kind of situations where you just gotta do it, bro. It's like I literally been telling myself every day, like, you just gotta do it, man. You just gotta do it, and then for some reason my hands and my feet move and they get it done. So it's like,
and isn't that kind of funny? Like, I don't know if it's flow states or whatever you want to call it, but you're in this work mode that like your mind is not actively working, but you're just doing the work, and somehow by the end of the day it's done.
Yeah, it's definitely that. It's like you have to do that.
I can't really explain it because like the way you just articulated that, I was like, I've had some days like that.
Yeah.
And where you're just like, oh, I'm editing, or I am working on an LLC, or I'm working on some business thing, and it's just done. And I'm like,
yeah, I feel like it's like almost like doing laundry, or like you just go and do it.
You go do it.
I think if you have like the natural like articulate to do it, like if you can actually like, I can do this. I can type my name. I can type my information. You're gonna do it. I think if you don't, it's like that thing. It's just, you can't have the mindfulness to do that because it's like something that's like kind of not natural for people. Like you don't want to sit there and type, these like stiff kind of like, or like these like I have this whole stiff mentality where I'm just sitting there. Like I hate sitting in chairs, and
that's the whole like 9 to 5 shit. You're sitting at a desk.
Hard, bro.
Yeah, it's like, hard.
You expect like everything to be kind of exciting when you're doing things like this. Like you want it to be like I'm constantly gaining while I'm doing these things, and that's like not what's gonna happen ever. I don't even think that's gonna happen when you are in your kind of like realm of success. Like when you feel like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm successful. Like personally,
what's your definition of success?
I think it's stability. Like when I have a certain level of not worrying about things that I'm worrying about right now. Yeah. Like from like 5 years ahead, if I'm not worrying about the same things. Yeah. That's success to me. Like, and that's periodic. Like, it's not something that is like everlasting. It's like 5 years. Like right now, I'm not worrying about things that I was worrying about when I was 25.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you my definition of success, and I think you'll find it similar maybe. So mine is doing meaningful work with meaningful relationships with the people I want to do it whenever I want to do it.
Yeah, essentially. Like, it's very like you not having to be present with things that are not important anymore. Like, why should I care about what somebody else thinks? Or because my life is going well. Like, I get up every day and I have a goal. I have people that fuck with me, people that love me, and I also have something I want to do tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of thing. It's not like I always just feel like people and myself at a time, I had this like no hope kind of thing. You know, not like no hope, but like tomorrow I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna
do.
Yeah, so it's like
you're kind of lost.
Yeah, and
it's kind of cool to have a direction.
Yeah,
because I always have this like little metaphor of like, yo, your goals in your life should be like a dartboard. You should be throwing darts at a target.
Yeah.
And if you're just throwing darts everywhere and you don't see a target, you're gonna be lost. You don't know where you want to go.
You definitely have to have like a center for yourself, and that's I think that kind of directs every kind of motion that you make on a life kind of idea. Is okay, like I have a goal. You have at some point in time you have to make that your center, you know, and the way that you go about, you know, your relationships and your just the level of discipline you have, or what you eat. If your goal is to lose weight, it's like what you eat, what you do.
Yeah, I want to talk about that real quick because like over COVID, you lost how many pounds?
Like 20.
20.
Yeah.
Did that change your life?
It helped.
Or like
it helped. It definitely.
Do you feel like a different person?
I do. Yeah.
How
feel
so?
like
how do you feel?
I gained a little bit back. It's been hard, but it definitely helped me, man. It like just the focus that I had. The focus was. It's so weird how like at the moment in the beginning it felt very unnatural. Like I woke up and I woke up at 6 o'clock, no matter what. Like I was like, what is going on? Like, why do I keep waking up immediately at 6 o'clock?
Yeah,
you know. And I feel like it was just the amount of energy I had. Like I had to get up and I had to like keep going, and also just the schedule and the regimen that I had was perfect for me because like I never felt like tired.
Yeah.
And that helped me so much because I didn't like walk into rooms like, fuck, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's just like, so yeah, because like last year it was just heavy like drinking, partying, and doing all this stuff,
and that affects your body.
It does, and you don't realize that shit until it's just like you're sitting there just like with the fucking little fupa.
Yeah, you're watching TV and you're like, I don't want to work on anything.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. It's like, so yeah, dude, losing 20 pounds and the thing is like I didn't look like I was 20 pounds over.
Yeah.
But then when I lost it, you notice like, damn, like that shit was there. That was was there. It's like in your face and your eyes and like, you know. So
well, everyone holds their like fat differently, but you definitely can see the difference.
Yeah.
And at the time, like, at least for me, because like I had a big weight gain like growing up, and when I lost it, I just. Like again, my energy's pretty level all day. I don't want to go to take naps.
Yeah,
I want to be like just like like.
And I feel
there,
like you're just a little more focused. Like your mind is a lot slower, rather than you. It's almost like I always compare it. I always look at my dog because like my dog, he's like lazy. He's crazy. Like he like won't. We'll go to walk. We'll have a good long walk, but right when he walks to the house, he's just sleeping. You know. So I always compare it because I'm like. When you're just in this stagnant situation, you don't really care about what's gonna happen. You know? And so
like whatever happens, happens.
When you're constantly on the move and you have like that, especially this, I feel like working out gives you such a good schedule. It's like I always had a set time, so I had to work everything around it. You know, that's the most important thing.
That's basically back to the discipline.
Yeah, it's super important, and it's crazy how that like affected my whole just the way that I got things done because like it was like wake up at 6, go run, come back. Do my workout, and then I had to be done my workout by like 8:30. You know what I'm saying? So I come back in the house and clean up, take a shower, and then be on the shit that I need to be on. And then also have time to be asleep to wake up
and do it all over again.
You know, so it's like, and then I'm also like avoiding the shit that I shouldn't be doing. Like someone calls me,
going out.
Drinking. You want to go here? No, I don't want to go. Like I can't.
No,
like,
I got things to do, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think it affects everything that you do. It's like it's crazy how that one part of your day will do all that. So I think that that's also part of like the kind of like a like vision of success is like with that whole goal orientated kind of mindset. You know, people kind of carry themselves differently. Like if I always constantly have things to do, like in a good way, even if it's like a lunch with somebody that's you know, important to me or this and that, it's like that's super important because you kind of want to have that kind of direction in your life where, you know, it seems like it's free flowing, but it's also very like an established sense of discipline. Like
Sure.
you've done this so many times where it's like you can just navigate. Like you could say no to somebody. Like, yo, no, I don't want to go do this. Like I got some.
It's hard. It's hard saying no to like at least old friends that you do care about. Because like I have a lot of friends out there who would hit me up. I had someone hit me a couple months ago and like, hey, like we're having this birthday party tonight, and I could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, sorry, man, I got things to do in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take you out another time. And he got really butthurt, but I was like, yo, you have to put you first sometimes.
Yeah, dude, and that's the thing. And the thing is, like, your homies, the people that, like, you know, expect you to be there for them sometimes, should also understand when you're not saying, like, when you're not doing the things that they want to do. Because at the end of the day, if this is more important to you, I respect that. You know? And just, like, sometimes I just can't handle, especially depending on who the friend is. I don't know if I can go hang out with you, bro, because you might be like the most toxic person. Like, not even toxic, like you just let me do whatever the fuck I want, and that's not really safe.
It's
for
funny
me.
how friends affects you, because like some of my best friends, like I don't hang around with a lot because they just don't bring in the best me. Don't bring out the best me.
Oh, they'll bring out the worst me. Like, dude, I
didn't want to go that far.
Nah, yeah,
no,
not in like a terrible, like you're not like a bad. It's just like, yo, like you'll just have too much fun sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I have some friends that like I enjoy being around them so much, but I'm just,
it's like a once a year or twice a year type of deal.
It'll fuck up my whole week. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I don't feel good about going right now. So yeah, I totally understand that, and that's such a big like growing up learning lesson, because it's like, I feel like when I was a little bit younger, it's just like I would walk around just like, let's just go. I'm down. Let's do it. Let's make this happen. Let's go have fun. And then,
but
it fucks up the
to
rest of
some people, that's the most important thing to them.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's the most.
I think they attribute that to them enjoying themselves all the time, which is like cool. But at a certain point, you gotta like not. You know, you gotta. It's nothing wrong with like. Really, like people, a lot of times these days, I feel like people are like trying to avoid like
putting
the
your
hard
head down
shit.
and doing the work,
and it's like the hard shit is like really kind of what makes you into like a way more fun person and a way more like relatable person, a way more comfortable person to be around. You know, because it's just like I wouldn't want to be constantly around somebody that parties all day anymore. Like I've been around people like that, and they're awesome people. They're super genuine. Yeah. They're super cool. But it's like when they go home, I know they're not having fun. Like, you know, I know that.
And
like,
they ain't waking up at 6 a.m. to work out.
Like when the party stops, bro, it's like it's not fun anymore. So I feel like you have to be around people that definitely have like some like real like values and goals, like because they're gonna really have the most fun when they let loose. It's gonna be the fun time, or they're gonna have the bigger, better party.
I like to think of like especially for me, like when I feel like I've earned my relaxing time. My relaxing time is that much better. When I feel like I've earned my party time, I feel like that party time is way much better. Yeah,
you don't have that anxiety, like, or that mental, like, damn, tomorrow I gotta wake up and do this shit, you know? Or tomorrow, or whatever, this and that, I shouldn't be here because, you know, I didn't finish this. And I feel like that also comes with being an entrepreneur, is like, that mindset is like, damn, I'm stepping outside of, and knowing that I have to do something else, you know? And it's like, you can't get caught up in that net, because, you know, you gotta have fun, you gotta like have these new experiences. But I feel like, you know, when you're not supposed to be doing some shit. You know?
Everyone knows what they need to do to get to where they need to be. They just gotta do it.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you call? I wanted to talk about. You've been with your girl for a very long time, right? How long has it been?
9 years. Now.
9 years, and like she's super supportive, right, of everything you do.
Always.
And that, just to have that support system, how is that? Because like a lot of I guess like males, like they're always searching like for their, I guess like their girl, or like they're trying to like, I feel like romanticism and love and all that like distracts them a lot from what they want to do, what they really want. And you haven't really had that experience, because you've always had that like lover, that person to always be there by your side, and you're just like doing your shit, and you have someone supporting you. And like I don't know, what's your advice to like, I guess, find that, or how's the experience of having that for like the last fucking 9 years, and you're still young?
Yeah.
So like, how has that been?
I think the most important thing, one of the important things, not the most, but it's just continue to do what you're doing and know where you're at. Like, know what situation you're in. Like, I never thought about, or even when I have thought about, like, this is, like, you know, getting in the way of things, I feel like I still said, you know, this is where I want to be. You know, I think you have to accept, like, the situation you put yourself in.
Yeah.
Because if it's a good situation, you don't want to leave. You don't want to be, I don't want to be, you know, everything's successful and things are going, and then I meet this person that only likes me for my success. You know, I want somebody that's, like, gonna, like, tell me, like, you're not doing shit. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, you know, why are you lacking? Why are you, someone to hold you accountable, you know, beside yourself, and then while also, like, supporting you, and, like, me being there to support her is, like, it's cool. You know, it's like, it makes you feel like you
growing together.
Yeah, you're growing together, and that, you know, just as a male, like, you feel like you constantly have something to provide for. And I think that when you get, as you grow, you kind of have to elevate that, like, you know, you have to elevate that mental space. Like, I want to be there at this stage, and then when I get to, as I'm moving up on myself, there's a certain other level that I want to meet to, you know, be the provider, or be even, like, matching the level of hustle that she has, you know?
Yeah.
And
does she have the same hustle you have?
She does. She's very, like, she's more so a very, like, on top of her shit person. I'm more relaxed.
Are you though? Dude, I don't know about that. You seem pretty on top of your shit, my friend.
I approach things differently. She's a very, like, immediate person. I'm a very, like,
I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not really gonna.
Did she ever tell you, like, yo, what are you doing? You could get there faster.
Always. Yeah. Always. It's always like, let's do it.
That's beautiful, bro.
She's always like like, she'll wake up and just be like, okay, let's do it. Like, on Sundays and stuff. Like, like yesterday, we were like,
and you're like, it's a weekend, girl.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, we gotta. I'm like chilling, like, you know. I'm like, you know, I forgot. I think I'm a big anime fan, so I'd be watching anime.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, watching anime early in the morning. It's like 8:00 in the morning. Like, I'm already up, blah blah blah. And she's like, well, let's go fix the yard. And I'm like, it's like one of those little things, but it's like, shit. Like, damn. Like, I'm like,
I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah, but that's how she approaches everything, though. She's very, like, on top of her shit. Like, she won't let things. She's the type of person, like, where she will not let things be there for her to worry about later, and which I love about her, because she just takes care of shit. She just, like, so good at taking care of things, and, like,
because that yard's gonna be 10 times worse a week from now.
Yeah,
than it is
that's
right
exactly
now.
it, you know. But that the thing is, like, that's how she approaches work. You know, that's how she approaches, like, you know, things that she wants to do. It's like, I want to do this now, because any mistake I make later on, it's like, I can not have to deal with it, or I can deal with it appropriately. You know, so she's amazing, because she just, like, never fails to, like, just put in the work. She, like, you know, I put in the work, but I'm a very casual, like, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. Like, I'll do a tidbit. It'll be like a whole day type of thing. You know, I'll get like 10 things done in a day, but it'll be like
small things.
Like, boom, 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 boom. She's like, boom. Like,
let's knock it out in 2 hours, bro.
Exactly. So it's like, having someone like that is kind of, like, crazy, because it's like a motivation. It's like, damn, I gotta keep up. I gotta be the good dude that, like, she doesn't feel like so it's weakening her drive. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
It seems like you guys both push each other.
Yeah. We definitely try to do our best to, like, give ourselves enough space to, like, be our own shit. Yeah. But also, like, be like, you know, we're together, but so we're
also independent.
We're independent, but we also have, like, we should have, like, a kind of like a hive mind of, like, you know, what we want to achieve, like, as if we're gonna be together for this for however long, you know. So
that's awesome that you found it, like, that early. Like, do you have any advice on, like, because a lot of people will try to find that person who, like, pushes them and, like, gets them better, and, like, especially, like, not just in friendships, but, like, with significant others. Like, do you have any advice on that?
I honestly don't, bro. I just,
you just got lucky.
It's not even luck, man. It's just, like, it's the same amount of, like, perseverance, you know. Like, nothing's ever perfect, and nothing's ever gonna be, like, as shiny as they make it in, like, TV shows and movies. I think that everybody has, like, their own situation, and they have, like, their own set of problems. Yeah, it's very unique, man. It's like, just hearing like friends situations.
Yeah, you don't know what people go through.
It's like crazy, bro. Yeah. So I think that people just gotta they have to definitely adjust. And the today is like a whole new kind of realm for dating and this and that. So it's like I feel like people need to just like adjust to the situation. And if you really want to be with somebody and you feel like they're not, completely fucking your life up, and not that we're nowhere close to that, but I'm just saying, like, if they're not really like putting you in a situation where like if it's a little thing or a little this, it was like as long as it's not something that's like hurting you to the point where like you're being like turning into a different person, and you can't, and also you don't have the opportunity to like address that. It's not an openly communicative kind of thing. Then I think that is where you kind of have to like have space to figure things out. Sure. Like you definitely have to give yourself space and your partner space to like have communication, and that's the most important thing. Like talk to them. If something's bothering you, talk to them. If something, even day to day, if something's bothering you,
communicate properly.
Yeah, communicate properly and take time to think about it. Like don't like give yourself more problems than you need for no reason because you feel like you're insecure and this and that. The most thing is like you gotta be secure with yourself, bro. It's like I wake up every day and like if I catch myself like feeling some type of way, it's like, is that real? You know what I'm saying? Is that situation real? Do I really?
Or did you just make it up in your head?
Exactly. And if you feel like it's real, then address it. You know, it's and because at the end of the day, anything that you do is not going to change the way that somebody else acts. A lot of times, or would you want that to happen? Why would I want to try to change the way that you act around me? That doesn't make sense to me. Like I would rather you act
authenticity.
Yeah.
Authentically.
But yeah, I just feel like you have to allow things to happen, and if you don't like the way they are, then you need to address them. If the outcome is not what you like, then you make your exit. But if not, then just like why you're there. You know why you're in the situation you are in. So you can't really like act like somebody's trying to hurt you if you're letting yourself be hurt.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
What do you call it for on the closeout? There's a ton of people who are similar to us who fucking want to do a ton of things, but they don't know like what to do. They like, oh, I'm interested in, I don't know, starting a business in basketball, in playing guitar, in music, in fashion, whatever, and they are lost in all the interests they have. Yeah. What's your advice on like what they should do to like progress in any aspect of their life? Because like a lot of people will just stay in limbo and just like do things half-ass for eternity until they're 50 and they just like do nothing.
Yeah. Damn, that's a good question. So I feel like I'm gonna try to be as clear as possible because this is something that I had to definitely deal with. When you feel like nothing is happening for you, do something. That's what it like.
Do something, anything.
Get up, and the goal that you have that's far away, start the first step, and just put your all into it until you feel like you're getting traction. Like it doesn't have to be immediately successful. I just feel like you need to take that first little step
and get that momentum.
It could be writing it down, but the next day have another plan to write it down and then start that. You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be I can't get up today and start making shit happen.
Okay, but say someone wants to do like, I want to start a fashion brand, I want to start a barbershop, I want to start a drinking company, but they just want to do that. Where would you say to start from that? You just said like, I want to write it down, I want to write those things down, but how do I do that?
Okay,
how do I do those things?
Just start with as much education as you can. Understand the business that you're going into. Understand the type of people that are in this business. Understand the people that are doing well in the business, and just take from what they're doing, like the good points. Like if they have videos on YouTube or they have like if they have books or if they have, read up on the history, something that you're interested in. The main thing is like that what you're walking into, and because some things aren't as fulfilling as they look on TV, you know, and sometimes people feel like they want to do certain things, and they don't actually understand what it is, you know. It's like it's so that's the biggest thing. Is like,
and they wouldn't want to do it if they understood what it meant to actually do.
Yeah, it's like I feel like with the whole like restaurants, like a lot of people feel like they want to be in the restaurant business, but they don't understand like that there are people that are 80 times more passionate than them, and that's not a comparison. It's like
it's a fact.
That's a fact, and that's like this person is working fucking way harder than you. So why would you not at least put even 50% of the energy if it's something that you just want to dabble in? Put some energy into it, or find a way to adjust to the 50% of energy that you're doing. Like, if you don't want to put a brick and mortar up, make a delivery restaurant service. It's like that. You have to create a level for yourself, you know, and you also have to stay in your lane. You can't ever be like, you can't want to be a restaurant owner and then just want to be Gordon Ramsay. It's like, that's just not going to happen. You know, there's like, you don't know I didn't know about Gordon like, I didn't know anything about Gordon Ramsay when he first started, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure that he must have been somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because prior to the cameras, he was like that naturally. He was talking shit to everybody before, you know? It's like, so I think that people need to like really educate themselves on what they want to do. That's the most important thing, because the more you get an understanding of it, the more you're going to really see if it's for you. And then the passion is going to fill up. It's not going to be something that's not like super like, without any kind of thirst to want to continuously be curious. You got to continuously be curious about the things that you want to do. Because a lot of people will be like, I want to do this.
Chase those curiosities.
And then never really look into it, you know? And I think being curious is the most important part. So, just be curious. I think that's the best way to put it, is just always be curious about the things that you want. And you'll find a way to test and experiment, but put it into action. So
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So after finding that curiosity, after like writing those goals down and actually like starting it, where do you go from there in terms of because a lot of people will be stuck in limbo of like, I want to be a barber, I want to start this barbershop, and 6 months down the road they have no one coming in. And for me, maybe for you, like my thing is like, just keep doing it until like, I guess you fail.
I think when it comes to that, if you see an opportunity if you see like some space to make something happen, like, okay, with that scenario, I mean, I would just get off my ass and go pass out business cards. I would market the fuck out of it. I would shoot videos. I would do everything I could with my phone. If I don't have a fucking nice camera, I'm shooting with my phone. If I don't have, if no one's coming in, I'm calling everybody I know. It's, you have to take repeated action until you fail. Because failure is not the same as, I don't even know what the word would be, but just letting it happen. You know what I'm saying? There's failure, and then there's like, you're letting it happen to yourself. You're allowing this, like, all these bad things to happen to you because you literally took no action against it. Failure, failure is like, you tried everything, you tried your best, and then you failed. It's like that. But I think that
I don't even know what to describe that other thing.
There's no real word for it, I guess. Like, I mean, I'm sure there is, but I wouldn't. I feel like that's what it is.
Not trying.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, I think that a lot of people do that too. It's like they'll start something and be like, well, why isn't anybody fucking with my shit? Well, are you getting out there and doing what you need to do?
Are you doing enough that you need to do?
Yeah.
So last thing before we close out, for all those people who try and start a business out there, or just trying to do the things that they want to do to like make a living, not necessarily be successful, but like put food on the table and like a roof over their head, just doing the things they want to do. What's the number one thing that you have for those people out there?
I would say,
because it's so easy to do that easy job that does not make you happy, but puts food on the table and roof over your head.
Yeah, I would say always try to find time for yourself. Never like set always just kind of see the broader picture. Don't ever put yourself like, you really have to live in this fucking moment and like just feel like, okay, this is what's happening today.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's always a chance for change in my life, and not really setting a limit for yourself is like the worst thing. You know, like I hate when people say that shit. Like I hate like that. Like, but it's like, it's really true, man. It's like, you literally cannot sit here and be like, this is what's going to happen to me for the next fucking rest of my life. You know, it's like, that's crazy for me to think about. Like, I would never think like I'm going to be in the same place all the time. And I feel like people that kind of feel defeated always feel like that. They feel like, this job fucking sucks.
The world's doing this to me.
I'm fucking gonna. And sometimes it's understandable. You know, people have shit that they're going through, but I feel like you gotta really give yourself perspective. Like, tomorrow could change. You know, it just depends on how you're going about your day, or tomorrow could change just internally. You know, it becomes really like, what if every day you're going to the same job and you don't fuck with it and you fucking hate it and you don't want to be there anymore, and you know, blah blah blah, but you're not, you know, getting up, and you know, there's a reason why you feel that way. It's not just a job, you know. It's like, you're not getting up and making yourself feel good every day, and you know, you're not going out and, you know, being around the right people every day. You know, your friends might be creating this mentality that, you know, this is it.
You gotta get new friends.
Yeah, real shit. And you know, or it might be just the things that you're putting in your body, or the things that you're absorbing. You're not reading enough. All this stuff, you know, all that real shit. It's like, all these things can change the perspective of how you think about it. Because that job might suck, but maybe you aren't putting yourself in the position to be good at that job. So people are getting on your head at that job. Or maybe you're, you know, just not really motivated to be, you know, to move yourself up in that career position. Or maybe you're not motivating yourself to apply for a new job. So it's like, it all becomes like kind of a personal situation. Like, how can I fix the way that I have perspective of the situation I'm in? You know, I think people gotta really change their perspective of like how they're approaching life and how they're approaching like their day to day, because the broad picture is that, you know, 5 years I don't want to be here anymore. It's
and the days
the days are gonna 5 years is gonna come day to day. So day to day is like, well, you gotta change that energy for yourself. You gotta change that whole perspective for yourself, because if you don't, then in 5 years you're gonna be there. If you're always telling yourself, well, I don't want to be here, well, then you got to do something about it. You know, that's the main thing, man.
Alrighty, my friend.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Gabe, thanks for coming, bro. We'll end it on that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Awesome, brother.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
we're gonna go hit some balls now.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.